going on, everybody? Welcome into Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we are looking at the top takeaways from Day 5 of Minnesota Vikings OTAs, as Jordan Addison was the star of that practice session. We'll get into that here in a second, but with it being the last day in May, we are actually counting subscribers here against our Lions Talk channel by Chat Sports, and we're only 9 away from passing them in the most subs in the month of May. So if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button to help us reach 26K here on the channel. But the number one takeaway from Day 5 of Vikings OTAs was this man right here. Jordan Addison took over, and he absolutely dominated the 7-on-7 period. And that was pretty expected because I think Addison is one of those guys that maybe us Vikings fans, we know how special and we know how good he is going to be, but I still don't think the rest of the NFL and just NFL media understands how special number 3 is going to be next season. But Alec Lewis had a sweet write-up from the OTA session, and he wrote this about Jordan Addison. He said, he simply looks different than the rest of the wideouts in the way he hinges off routes and glides across the field. The Vikings will need him to step up if tight end TJ Hockenson misses time early, and Addison looks ready to do so. And I must say, just looking at the pictures and videos I've seen from OTAs, Addison has definitely filled out his frame a little bit more. You know, last season he did weigh in at only 173 pounds. There hasn't been any confirmed weight on what he's playing at right now, but he definitely looks a lot thicker on his frame. But his numbers last season, 911 yards, 10 touchdowns, and this was with the likes of, Jaron Hall, Nick Mullins, Josh Dobbs storming the football for a majority of the season. And I feel like Addison's one of those guys where he is the complete opposite of a guy like DK Metcalf, where DK Metcalf, he has the big-time highlight plays. He's 6'4", super chiseled, runs a 4.40, and he just looks the part of being a wide receiver. Jordan Addison's the opposite. He's 5'11", a $175, and he doesn't really run a extremely fast 40. I think he chimed in at like a 4.56 when he was running at the combine last offseason. But I think Jordan Addison, he's just a smooth football player, super, super silky, getting in and out of routes. And I just think he's one of those guys where it's just year after year after year, he's just going to continuously develop his game. So Jordan Addison, want to give him a ton of love to start off today's show. But the second takeaway I had was the run game is changing for the Minnesota Vikings, and this was pretty interesting. So I went back and I looked at it. So 28.4% of the Vikings runs last season came from the shotgun, which was one of the worst one of the least frequent in the NFL. But before they went to the red zone period at OTAs during Day 5, they had a whole group focused on shotgun running during Day 5. And I think a big part of that was, we had Kirk Cousins as our quarterback last season. Wasn't the most athletic quarterback, as we do know. But whether it's Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy, they have dual threat possibilities to their game. So could we see some read option to the Vikings run game this upcoming year? That's something to definitely keep your eyes out on. But some chat stats for you guys. We're looking at the stats for the Vikings rushing attack the last 2 seasons. It's been terrible. 2022, 97.7 yards per game. That was 27th in the NFL. And then in 2023, they only averaged 91.4 rushing yards per game, which was 29th. And I think the Vikings should have added more shotgun running when Josh Dobbs was the quarterback last season. I remember it was the Raiders game when the Vikings, their offense couldn't get anything done. And I was saying on our watch parties here, I was like, let's see some read options. Let's see some design quarterback runs. So maybe Kevin O'Connell was going to make that switch to the offense this season. But I love this stat. And you guys, if you guys have been watching the program here for a while, rushing yards over expected. So what does that mean? PFF, they determine how many yards a running back is supposed to get on a certain run. And then you can either go over that expected or under that expected. And new Vikings running back Aaron Jones was the best in the NFL dating back from Week 16 to the divisional round of the playoffs. He was plus 151 yards over expected during that time frame, which was the most in the National Football League. Josh Allen, funny enough, quarterback for the Bills, was second at plus 97, but he damn near had a 50-yard league over who was in second. Then he had James Conner at third, Derrick Henry at 76 coming in at fourth, and then Isaiah Pacheco of the Chiefs coming at 76 at fifth as well. But I think Aaron Jones is going to be the biggest reason why the Vikings run game is going to get fixed up this upcoming season, but also some more shotgun running. I would love to see a J.J. McCarthy, Aaron Jones read option, thrown out there potentially this season, or even if it's Sam Darnold, because he's got some dual threat ability as well. But I want to ask you guys this question. Will Aaron Jones fix the run game for the Minnesota Vikings? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down in the comments section. I'm going to be optimistic here and drink a little purple Kool-Aid, and I'm going to say yes. I think Aaron Jones will, but you guys let me know your thoughts down below. Now, the third takeaway is Levy Drake Rodriguez. Now, if you guys don't know this guy, this was the 7th-round pick by the Minnesota Vikings, pick 252, and an interesting part of Levy's kind of path to the NFL. So, Kaylin Collar, she works for The Athletic. She is absolutely fantastic, covers NFL, better than most people out there. And she was writing this article throughout the NFL draft process, and she was referring to this guy as Project X, and then she finally unveiled who it was after the NFL draft, and that player was Levy Drake Rodriguez, and she calls him the most overlooked player in the draft. And just when I went on and I watched his tape, just watched his highlights on YouTube, he definitely looks the part, so I'm excited about him. And also new Vikings defensive line coach, Marcus Dixon, said this. He said, he is going to be awesome. I think the future is bright for him. And, overall, every report I've been seeing around Levy coming out, even before the OTA periods, like dating back to even Vikings rookie minicamp, was this guy just looks the part. He is super fast, super athletic, and, they raved about his swim move over and over again, dating back to his college days, and Christian Darrisaw actually said he saw him unleash it during the OTA period. So pretty cool. Just keep your eyes out on him as a 7th-round pick. I really haven't seen, especially a defensive lineman, getting this much hype in an OTA period in a while. But another defensive lineman for the Vikes that is definitely turning heads and is, making a name for himself is Dallas Turner, as I think he's going to be one of the best draft picks in this year's draft. But Kevin Seifert, who has been at Vikings OTAs over the past couple of days, tweeted this out, saying Christian Darrisaw was just raving about rookie Vikings linebacker Dallas Turner. Said he saw Turner put a spin move on another lineman that was faster than the one Danielle Hunter used to put on people. If you guys don't know, or if you're unfamiliar with Danielle Hunter's spin game, go look up one clip of it. It is absolutely insane, and it is super fast. And the fact that Darrisaw is already comparing Dallas Turner to Danielle Hunter just absolutely fires me up. But I totally think teams will regret not drafting Dallas Turner. The fact that the Vikings were able to get him at pick 17, and yes, they had to trade up 6 spots, and they gave up a plethora of future draft capital to land the Bama edge rusher. But the Colts, they took Latu at 15. I think they're going to regret not taking Turner, and I just think he's going to be one of those guys where it's like, how did we let Minnesota get the best defensive player in this class all the way down at pick 17? So Turner, everything we're hearing around him, he is just living up to the hype of being, the best defensive player in this year's draft class. But I got one more takeaway coming for you guys in just a second, but I want to tell you guys about a sweet deal we have going on right now. And you guys can get your J.J. McCarthy jerseys right now by clicking this link, chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. Make sure that link for you guys in the comments and description of today's show. But number 9 is the number he'll be rocking this upcoming season, and it's going to be one of the hottest jerseys at US Bank Stadium for this year for the Minnesota Vikings. So get that jersey today, chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. Now, this is kind of a fun takeaway for the last one. Jerry Tillery, who the Vikings signed this offseason, former first-round pick, he is looking absolutely yoked at the OTA period. And actually, Marcus Dixon had this to say, and there's also a couple of other Vikings players who were just raving about his just frame and just, how he looks, and he just looks in great shape. He said, you wouldn't believe that he weighs 295 pounds because he's so lean. And I agree. You guys can even just see it in his face right here. This looks like it should be a wide receiver, how slim his face is, but he damn near weighs 300 pounds. And the Vikings are going to need him to step up this season because besides Harrison Phillips, there's really no interior defensive lineman that you feel comfortable putting out there. You could go Jonathan Bullard, but I just don't think he's going to get the start. But I think it's going to be Jerry Tillery starting next to Harrison Phillips. And if I had to pick one guy that, personally, like I would want them to take that leap, it would probably be Tillery or a guy like Ed Ingram, as well. But I think Tillery, if you would just add, another first-round talent to that interior of the defensive line. It's going to make life for, Jonathan Grenard, Dallas Turner, Andrew Van Ginkel, those edge rushers. It's going to make their experience so much easier. So he looks the part. He's looking absolutely cut up at Vikings OTAs. So just kind of want to share that news with you guys. But if you guys are excited for Vikings football getting underway, as we're just getting a taste of it right now, give me a skull down in the comments section. I want it to look like US Bank Stadium on game day, and also give me a follow on Twitter at Pat Sieps is the Twitter handle right there. I'll give you guys a follow back if you guys do so. But thank you guys so much for watching today's show. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.